Here we will evaluate rational expressions for given values of variables. The most important thing to do here is to use parentheses every time we substitute this number in. So whenever I am substituting, I always build a shell of empty parentheses where my variable belongs, and then I will simply plug in or substitute the number in each of those circumstances. So 4 plus 4 is 8, 4 plus 2 is 6, so this is 8 6, which we would simplify down by dividing each of these by 2 halves or 1 whole, and that would be 4 thirds, which we could also write as 1 and 1/3, so either of these would be an acceptable output or answer for that. Looking here, same thing, we have a variable equal to 5, so we're going to put parentheses where that variable belongs, and then plug in this number subsequently to those parentheses. So 5 squared would be 25, 5 minus 3 would be 2. This would be 25 halves. If we wanted to look at it, we could say that it is 12 and 1/2. So either of these two would be an acceptable way to simplify this expression for y equal 5. We will also have to evaluate polynomials, and especially we're going to have to know to use evaluate negative numbers. So again, using the parentheses is going to come into play here. I'm just replacing every time the variable appears. I'm going to replace that with parentheses, especially here when I'm subtracting what is a negative variable. I want to be able to account for that properly. Then I'll just rewrite the number in, including its sign. So in this case here, I can catch, I could have made a mistake here. So negative 3 squared, negative times negative is positive, so that would be 9. Positive 5 times negative 3 would be minus 15, and then minus 2. Negative 3 squared again is positive 9. Negative times negative is positive, so that would be plus 3. Minus 2. If I wanted to look at all these together, I could say, well, these both have 9s, these both have negative 2, so I really have negative 15 over 3. But if I wanted to simplify by adding, I could do that too. Negative 15 minus 2 would be negative 17. Negative 17 plus 9 would be negative 8. And then 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 minus 2 is 10, so negative 8 tenths, which would simplify to negative 4 fifths. Does that make sense? 9 minus 15, if I wanted to do it that way. No, it doesn't make sense, does it? Yeah, that does.